Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Profit Talk. Tonight we have our family members joining us. We're going to do a nice, fluffy, upbeat, how our families support us in their role in our businesses and things like that. So we're going to make this a nice, fun, happy, super sunshiny, fun time. So no, complaining.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Don't make me have to thank people. So how is everybody? I know you're done. You're fried from helping Chad move.
Yeah, we're actually still in Florida. We're going to leave out tomorrow morning. My goal is to be home by noon, which is like a 6-hour drive, but that's never going to happen. There's no way I can get my group up and out the door by 6 a.m., but it sounds good in theory.
Oh, wow. 6 hours? That
stinks.
stinks. I thought you were way closer than that.
I mean, we are closer. We're 350 miles, but the problem is you can go 90 for like the 4 hours closer to Huntsville, but those last 2 hours, that last 90 miles is like through every podunk town in Florida because there's no interstate that comes directly down, and it's like 45 miles an hour from red light to red light from town to town. No.
What?
I don't know. Chad just walked through and was very
rude. He's echoing down the street. He's got the big bay doors open outside. Oh.
The bay doors.
He's
like
just
doors. Apparently they have a loading dock on their house.
Well, your new house is big enough for a loading dock, right?
Pretty much.
They just got a new.
You're right. I didn't know you were alive.
Sorry, he goes, oh my gosh, I didn't know you were alive, and just ran off.
You are fine.
Wow.
Who wants to start it? Deb, do you want to start with your baby girl's role in your business?
Sure. Come here, Maria. Alright, so this is my daughter, Maria.
Hello, sweetheart.
She's eating a sandwich. I put her on the spot. Anyway, she's 7, and she helps me. She has label things. Go ahead.
Scanning.
Labeling and
so she does my. Yes, she does my labeling and scanning for Amazon. I taught her how to use Scan and Label within Seller Central to scan my stuff and label it. Last week, she bagged and labeled all of my stuff and put it in a box. Put all the suffocation labels on there and all of the FBA labels and bagged them and heat sealed them. So she's pretty effective. And she used to take my pictures for when I used to do coffee cups. Yeah, when I did coffee cups and stuffed animals, she would take the pictures because she was really good at that. But I don't do those things anymore, so I don't have a lot for her to take pictures of, so she's really mad at me that I don't do coffee cups anymore.
Does your mom need to go back to coffee cups and plush toys?
Yes. Oh, God.
I saw the big pile of stuff.
I think I would just teach her how to list. She could, I don't even care if it was all misspelled, she could do her own red bear, whatever, and just list them herself before I'd go back to doing coffee cups and stuff.
I think she'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I think she would. I think she would actually enjoy it. I can't wait for her to get another 5 years, and then she could actually do listing for me.
I'm gonna let our oldest. I'm gonna let him start listing stuff. I've been trying to show them, little things here and there, and I want them to have their own account. Start them off on eBay, but I want them to have their own account and just see what they can do with it. See how much they can make.
Mine would try to sell each other.
Well, see, I wanted my 16-year-old, she wanted to get a job last summer, and I told her, I said, Corinne, just help me do eBay. I'll show you how to do it. I'll pay you more than minimum wage, which is all a 16-year-old is going to get nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, yeah, okay. And, she, there was nothing happened after that point. It was just she didnwant to, so I didn't know what to tell her, you know. I don't know why you'd rather work at Sonic.
Ours, if she's anything like ours, because ours have grown up in it. So, really, ours have grown up in it, so they don't want anything familiar.
This house.
Yeah,
There's like 12
Hi, guys.
12 people in this house. Sorry.
It's the same thing, though. It's like trying to get a family member. I've seen people say, like, oh, my cousin's living with me, or my friend, or whatever, and they're like, dude, make him do eBay with you. It's not for everyone.
No.
You know, it's just not something that, they could do it. I mean, anybody could do it. It's just that if they don't have an interest in it, you're just wasting your time. Like, she actually likes to do it. She asked me if there's something she could do. You know, do you have anything I can scan? Do you have anything I can put stickers on? Do you have, you know, even like, I tried to get my husband to help, and he's helped twice. He took pictures one day, and that's when I figured out I really wanted a picture person. And then they cleaned one day, where I was just giving them stuff, and they were cleaning it off and getting the stickers off and all that kind of stuff. But that was like one day. That's all the help I got. One day. So,
do you think that she would help you with the stickers? Is that your thing, babe? Stickers, or you don't like the stickers?
Taking them off?
Yeah.
She totally would. She would help me do any of the things. I think it's just that I'm not organized, and this goes with having an employee too. You have to have a process and a system, and if you don't have a process and a system that you can explain to someone, I mean, there's not a whole lot of help that they can give you, because you don't even have any instructions to give them. I can't, you know, if I don't have a pile of things that I can go, here you go, and use this and use that, you know, then the success rate's pretty low.
That's true. I saw the huge pile that she did, though. That was insane. The big pile of stuff that she bagged up, and you posted it on some of the groups. That was awesome.
Yeah, she did a lot. It actually helped me quite a bit. If I could use her in more stuff, I would. So that's like I said, I can't wait until she gets older, because she actually wants to do it. Like, she's an interest in it, and my oldest daughter doesn't. She doesn't want to get out of the car to take things to the post office. You know? Like,
Yeah, I'm good if I can get our 13-year-old to walk to the mailbox and put the flag up.
yeah. With her, I can tell her, I'm like, here, take this out, put this in the box. Okay. No.
That's like the morning routine. Which one of the kids has to go to the end of the driveway to put the flag up so that the mailman will know there's outgoing packages on the front porch?
Is that
So
the morning
you're not out
flight?
there in your underwear putting your packages on the porch?
I mean, it's not really, yeah. I mean, it's not really a big deal. Our driveway's like 30 feet long, maybe. But it's like, oh, my God, really? And it's like, really? Okay, well, I'll just quit working and quit paying the bills.
Why don't you just tell them that you're going to walk down there in your underwear and do it?
They're used to it.
Oh, they don't care.
They don't care.
I mean, it's long underwear. It looks like
No,
tights.
not
for men.
always.
I'll call it Under Armour.
Yeah, I like it when Tristan's around because she tells the truth.
I do. Oh, mosquito, sorry.
Oh.
It's been bothering me.
We literally just ran in here, threw the computer up. This room that we're in is an empty room that Chad and Kim haven't moved any furniture in, so it's echoing really bad. So I got the bright idea to open these doors that you see over here, and now we have all the mosquitoes in Florida in this room.
That has, like, there's no screen door for the big...
No.
It's just some really nice French doors looking out onto a little patio and mosquitoes. I thought mosquitoes were dead this time of year. I didn't know.
Mosquitoes are the Florida state bird.
The Florida state.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Kristen, do you want to tell everybody what it is that you do, since you do not the flashy stuff that we all see that Dusty takes credit for?
Yeah, what do I do? I love the mundane. I like to peel prices and put stickers and package, and I love to ship, and I clean things if there's funk on them, or we pick together.
We do, and she'll help. We'll come in with a carload full of stuff, and she helps get it all in the house and takes it straight to the living room, which is like her hangout area. And she will sit and peel stickers like a madman, price tags off of stuff, which is the stuff I hate. And then she'll have it ready, and she'll call me like 20 minutes later, an hour later, whatever, and go, hey, all your price tags are peeled and it's ready.
But I'll also organize it, like
by UPC code if we have variations of stuff.
Right, or one time a while back we bought 150, 200 different T-shirts, but they were brand new. And so I counted them all and sized them all and folded them all and had it all written down. Sticky notes are my best friend. But, I would write and bundle it all and get it all ready for him. I do the tedium.
Can you be my wife? Because that would be awesome.
Huh?
Can you just be my wife and you can do that for me?
Oh, here come the comments in the chat now.
Oh.
Oh, that's true.
I'm going to go see if I can make my husband come and say hello.
Oh, okay. Oh. I enjoy that part of it. And could I list possibly our relationship is such, he is very anal retentive, and I absolutely could do the listing. I've, had jobs where I was in charge of important things, and, it's not that I can't or am not intelligent enough. It's just that whatever I did, he would go behind and redo. And I am just too smart to do that. So I let him do it, and it works that way. But we have competitions on, especially when we go picking, who can find the biggest home run, or one of our funnies is if we go to a particular store that I know they're going to have something that I want to buy, I have to find enough items to pay for whatever I want.
That's not an official rule, but that's like,
well,
when we go picking, if we buy a bunch of stuff, we make some money, and she found a bunch of good things that are profitable, then she doesn't feel bad about like, hey, do you care that I got this and this and this? You know what I mean? Because it's kind of a gimme that, well, hey, you found all this stuff we made money off of. Go ahead and get what you want.
Right.
It's just what works for us.
That's like how I save John money, because I use a coupon on that $1,000 thing that saved like $2. So I don't do that at all.
I'm so rich with how much money you save me.
I know. You've got so much money with the money I save. Okay, so John's role.
Hi, John.
Hi.
Oh, this is John.
Hey, John.
I think Paul called him the Sasquatch of our group because no one ever has really seen him or believed that he exists.
The elusive John.
No, he's the Snuffleupagus. Wasn't it Snuffleupagus? He was the one on Sesame Street that nobody thought existed.
The Snuffleupagus?
That was Big Bird's imaginary friend.
Oh, he was I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I just dated myself.
He was imaginary?
Originally, he was Big Bird's imaginary friend.
But I saw him on there. How is he imaginary?
Right? Huh. The things you learn. Yeah, so he tried to remain the elusive mythical beast, but I told him he had to come on tonight.
Hey, Dawn.
Yeah. How do you support me?
That's a good question.
What is your role?
I'm moral support and financial. I like to think of myself as a silent partner. At least I think that's what she means when she tells me to sit down and be quiet.
Yes.
I think Dusty would like me to be more silent.
But I don't even use our money anymore. I use money.
No, it's much better.
Yeah. John is more. I don't know. He's the one. He's my organized everything. We've talked about this before, but I freeze. Like when I go to organize stuff, I walk into a room and all I see is like everything at one time, and I can't figure out how to get it from that point to the point that I see in my head, where it should be. And so I just stand there and kind of turn in circles for a little bit and have a panic attack, and then I go sit down. So he takes it and, you know, he helps me make it all pretty and shiny and to where I can actually see things and I can actually do something. Like this room that we're in now, he redid it in a weekend, actually top to bottom.
Wow.
Painted it, put in a new floor and all that stuff, and helped me get it all organized and turned it into a usable space so I didn't have to go upstairs, you know, to do work and things. I could actually work downstairs. So that, now that I don't need his money,
I just do what I'm told.
that, yeah. He's good.
I just drive and pay for things.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people.
Well, I wish he would. I wish he would, like, pick with me and stuff, but John is that guy. He's like the person that we all love as Amazon sellers because he sees what he wants and he's like, take my money. That's you know what I mean? That's him. He has zero interest in going out and really shopping. I'm talking for you.
Somebody's got to buy all the stuff you guys put on there.
Yeah.
But our
He supports
situation,
us all.
but our situation's different too, though. I mean, we've been fortunate and blessed enough that, you know, years ago we realized, hey, we both went to work for other people, and we kept trying it. We kept going back and forth, and every time we would realize that for us in particular, we were better off together, working together. You know, she would go get a job somewhere, and then, you know, she'd find herself working 40 hours a week, making not minimum wage, but, you know, making a decent, yeah, I mean, a lot less than what she was actually worth to me being in our business. Because to do all those things she does and goes with me, it wasn't worth, I don't know, words aren't coming out right. It wasn't worth it for her to go work for $12 an hour, 40 hours a week outside of the home when they wanted her to work 6 days a week. And then by the time they cut taxes and everything else, it wasn't, and there were no benefits, it wasn't worth it because for that same amount of time, those 6 days that she was gone, she could have helped the family make $500-$600, make more, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And then I also have what most women have that work outside of the home. I would get guilt not being there with my kids, not saying there's anything wrong with going and having a career. That's not it. My calling was to stay at home and be with my kids.
Yep.
And so there was a lot of guilt there. And so this worked out.
And we decided if we ever got to the point where, hey, it's more financially feasible for both of us to stay at home and do this job together and we can make it work, then let's do it. It's the best. It was the best of both worlds for us. And that's not for everybody. And that's not, and not everybody's that fortunate. And that's not, you know, that we were right or we were wrong or anything, but it just worked out that it happened that way.
Well, it also worked out that we don't kill each other.
That's what I was wondering. Do you guys, I mean, is it ever too much? You know, like, I get a break when John goes to work every day.
I've been told to go to work.
Yes.
We do best. Y'all are awesome. We fight when we don't spend time together, which I know is so weird. But I'm not going to lie, as a woman in the home, I would love it. We do the very best is when he's had like a barn in the backyard or just somewhere close to home but just right outside the home.
Mm-hmm.
But no offense, I don't think I've ever told you that, but
it's better when you're not there.
No, we've been married long enough. We communicate real well about things. I mean, we haven't always, but yeah, we definitely. No, I knew that.
Okay.
Okay.
No, we.
Rewind.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. We are so sleep deprived. I love him being home. We work better together that way. We work better when we are up each other's butts 24/7.
We do as long as John has something to do. Like, he took, what did you take off at Christmas? Like 3 or 4 weeks?
2 weeks.
Really?
Apparently it took
Well,
longer.
Did you stay that long?
2 weeks off. Really?
Yeah.
Anyways, so as long as he can't like lounge.
Mm-hmm.
He can't like sit around. He has to have something going. He gets really bored really, really quickly. And if there's not something to keep him busy, then he will find something to do, which Oh, they lost their net, which typically leads to some project, some god-awful, let's organize and completely clean this widget that no one's ever seen in their life in our home. You know what I mean? And it turns into this big, huge project. And I hate those projects because it, like, I love you so much.
Go ahead.
But it makes a really big mess that I can't stand all of the, like when he cleans the kitchen, he takes everything out of the cabinets and puts it everywhere, and then cleans out the cabinet and then wipes everything off and puts it up in the cabinet, but it takes like all day, and I cannot handle that. Like that, I can't handle that. It's like way too much for me, and I just get instant bitch, you know, and it's terrible.
I wouldn't use that.
Dusty would know about that.
Yes, you would.
Out loud.
He uses that word in his happy place. But as long as, you know, we've got something to do that doesn't let him go to that place, then I love it. You
Wow,
know,
I really sound like I have issues, don't I?
you do.
That place.
No, I mean like that place where you like have to do some big, huge, you know, project thing. As long as I have little things to keep you busy, he's like a toddler. That's what it is. He's like a toddler, and as long as I can keep him occupied, then we do, you know, because our big thing is joking around and laughing, you know, so it's just one big having a good time as long as I can keep him occupied.
That's why y'all can't see my hands right now. I'm actually coloring. She gave me crayons.
I did.
Oh.
He's got pretty crayons. He's also got 3 fingers of makers
Whoa.
off screen, so
I don't know what she's talking about.
that's my toddler toy for the big boy.
I just need something to do.
I got helper right now putting together a Lego game so I can figure out if I have all the pieces.
Oh, see, that's the tough work. That's a good job.
You put me out of a job.
See, and that's Tristan does stuff like that, like counting pieces in board games and like organizing. That's why I haven't bought board games a lot in the past. I don't have the patience for that. So when you've got somebody like that, Deb, that doesn't mind doing it, that helps you, I mean, that to me is worth it.
Absolutely. I think what she does is
Yeah, we
awesome.
also,
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Picker Army will be here in a little while.
Yay! I didn't know if they were coming on or not.
Yeah, well, their daughter had, you know, the thing, and I told him, I said, I'm pretty sure that we're going to run long just because, you know, I don't know. This is important to me because so many people, their experience with their family is so negative that I really want to kind of, you know, show them that there are warm, squishy, you know, families out there doing stuff, kind of, I don't know, like pump them up a little bit, you know, that not everything is.
And my husband's role in all of this is to not get mad about all my crap all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
And he does a fairly good job with that. Like, there's, like, totes of stuff, like, all in the hall, and I don't have a lot of the issues that I see a lot of, you know, some people say that they have with husbands that don't necessarily help with their business at all, or play any part in it whatsoever. At least he doesn't have, like, a negative, you know, a negative attitude about the whole thing in the, you know, all of my crap everywhere.
Yeah. I don't do a whole lot of eBay, so I don't have too much stuff, you know, going everywhere. But John, if it was, he couldn't take that because he's very OCD, like extremely.
We organized your room because of it. You
Well,
should be thankful.
Yeah, and I wish mine was that cool OCD where everything is super clean, you know, but mine is not cool like his is. But it does get me some really great organization.
see, I just stay out of the office. You know, I tell me what I need to do, and I'll do it. You know, this is I don't know. I wouldn't be anything but supportive. This is our business. It allows me to stay at home. I know where my kids are and what they're doing, and I can make it for everything and whatever I can do to help. I have had a job outside of the house. We've had other businesses together. We've tried different things over the years, but this is the only thing that has allowed us to live the life we want. So I'm going to do whatever I can to support it. And, there are days where I think, well, maybe if I had a job, I could bring money in. And, I have that little guilt for 2 seconds. But then I think, after everything's said and done, I still couldn't do what I'm doing now.
Do you think you guys would homeschool if you weren't both at home?
Well, we homeschool because the city schools in Huntsville suck. I am not necessarily pro homeschool. I am pro best education available that you can get your hands on. And in our situation, living in Huntsville, Alabama, where the school system is horrible, that was our option. So I took them out, and let's see, our daughter was she was in the middle of her 8th grade year, and our son didn't start until the beginning of his 7th grade year, and they're 2 years apart. But I am not necessarily pro homeschool or anti homeschool, pro public school, private, whatever. I just needed the best education I could give my kids. And that happened to be through this homeschooling program that we use. Because Huntsville, Alabama city schools are horrible.
You've said that like 4 times now.
Have I really?
I'll put it in the description.
The school board, who is probably already watching us anyhow, probably thought that, I'm sure. So.
It's bad.
Yeah, long story. Yeah. So was that a cat?
No, that was a dog walker.
Oh, okay. Okay, this house is like, there's been no, Chad's listening right now, and I'm going to go ahead and say it in the other room. He didn't call to get the gas changed over until today. And we moved on Friday, so we've been having cold showers.
Ice cold showers.
No heat. It really hasn't been bad. I just like to give him a hard time. And he just stuck his head in the door about 5 minutes ago. The gas guy got here like at 5:30, like 2 hours ago, and finally turned the gas on. And Chad stuck his head in about 5 minutes ago and goes, "It smells like gas really bad in the backyard." So apparently he's out in the backyard fighting a gas leak or whatever. It's fine.
Oh, good.
So if y'all hear a loud explosion, I just want to say I love you.
It was nice knowing you all. Hope we helped you learn something.
Don't die. You're my friend. Oh my
At
God!
least let me
smell
get
that maker. Lord.
But no, it is great for those who do want to homeschool, who are homeschooling. It's a great opportunity, and I know most of you ladies do homeschool.
I do. There's actually, there are a lot of us. There really are a lot of us that homeschool. I was surprised. I was surprised by the number of people that homeschooled, and then I was surprised by the number of people that had like a lot of health issues. That really surprised me.
Well, I know Kim homeschooled their boys, but mine. I'm not the type mom that could. I'm not organized enough to teach my kids, so we have this great covering. They actually go away and go to. It's almost like a small private school, and they go from 8 to noon. And then they come home, and it's great, but it would be great if you chose to homeschool.
I just didn't know if it was, well, I mean, I didn't know the reasons why you guys homeschooled, so I just wondered if you weren't able to have both of you at home, it was still.
I don't know.
If I had the choice, and if we were, no, I probably wouldn't homeschool. I mean, that's just, if we had a good enough school system.
Oh, we lost your
Okay, go.
sound.
There you
go.
Oh.
Heart attack.
The school system we were living in when we were in the Birmingham area was one of the best in the state, and I would have kept them there had we stayed there. We moved here, and it is subpar, even at the magnet school they were in, and we didn't have a choice. You know, when it comes to their education, you do what you have to do, and this was what we did.
That works, though.
It's actually all the pieces have fallen. We've been very fortunate because we're the most gypsy people, probably the most unorganized, undisciplined, unregimented, everything.
He says my spiritual gift is confusion.
Yeah, like everything that her dad, who's a very, retired IRS federal revenue officer, Mensa smart, all that, everything that he would want her to have in a husband, or her to be, and everything, all of the above. None of that has ever happened, and we've been very fortunate. We've been blessed with good kids and the ability to learn how to make money on our own, and which leads to other things like being able to travel and being able to take time off and being able to do things that we
help your friends move because they need.
Yeah, I mean, and it's an excuse to come to Florida, although we would have done it for them anyhow. But it was a win-win for everybody. Help them move, get to be in Florida, get to have fun, get to hang out, and do a little work while we're here, make a little money.
Have you been sourcing while you guys are down there?
Chad and I went out today. The girls slept today, and I looked at Chad today, and I was like, dude, I got to get out of this house.
I didn't wake up till 2 o'clock.
We've turned the U-Haul back in. There is nothing to do. We're not unloading boxes. Let's go hit some thrift stores. And I spent about $120 and found enough stuff that I'll probably make about a $500 profit off of.
Nice.
I mean, that's not bad for being gone for 4 or 5 days. That's, about what I would like to make per day, as far as profit to make ends meet. So it was kind of a win-win.
Caesar said, so as married couples, what are your likes and dislikes about the business? If there was something you could change, what would it be?
I can't think of anything. I love it.
I mean, I like that, for me, it's once our kids go off to college, then I'm either supposed to go to school, get a job, something, and I don't know if that was your. I don't even know how we came about that. But anyways,
it was the plan all along.
Yeah.
This takes that place.
This is. I hate working for people. I'm not a good employee because I always think that I can do it better. And they're just. I don't think their ideas are very good or the way they're running whatever is very good. Yep. So I get really annoyed and really smart-alecky very quickly. And I don't like people. I really don't like people. Dealing with people, I don't.
I have a low tolerance.
So much.
People are just most people are just not nice. And I don't want to have to be nice to them if they're not nice to me. So this is something that I can do no matter where we have to move, for his stuff, because he loves what he does. Mm-hmm. And, it's not like he's going to stop doing that. And so every 2 years or so, we will still be moving. So this is something I can totally do wherever we go and, make my contribution, to the family bottom line or whatever. I don't know if there's anything that I dislike. Is there anything that you dislike about me doing it?
No. Within 1 year, you'll make enough money that all I have to do is slap labels on stuff.
That would be awesome.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Quit my job, come home, and lick and stick.
Lick and stick. What would you change, Deb? Anything?
I thought my husband would change about my business. I know, like I said, he doesn't complain about the stuff that I have out there, but I know that that's something he would like for me to change, would be, all the clutter. I know that he doesn't like for me to work when work hours are over. It can be so easy to turn your work day into an all-day event because you're not necessarily like you are at work where from 8 to 5 you're working. Mm-hmm. You're really from 8 to 8:20 working, and then from 8:20 to 9 bullshitting, and then 9 to 9:15 you might work, so you're not really getting a lot done. So you can run your whole day in, as your business. And I know, he kind of likes it to end, at 5 o'clock. Your work day should be finished.
I do get stuck in the research thing. I know what you mean. Like, I get stuck in a groove. I know what you mean, trying to turn it off.
It's not that I get stuck in something. It's that I tend to not be very productive and efficient with my time. And since I don't have a start and stop of things, then there's no sense of urgency. I don't have that sense of urgency with with my business that I would if I was working and I had a project deadline. There are no deadlines, when it comes to working from home. So, you can kind of run your whole day.
I completely understand.
When our kids were young, that's one thing that we had to be very cautious of is, it would be 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and he still wouldn't have everything shut down to come and help.
Oh, I don't have an off switch.
No.
And that's really a reason. We had a great house with a 10 by 30 building behind it, and I know she said she enjoyed that, but that was one of the biggest downfalls, was it was too far away from the house. It's kind of like all the people I see that go, oh, I want a warehouse, I want a warehouse, I want a warehouse. I mean, that's great if you're a disciplined person and you can do 9 to 5 and then go home to your family. I can't do that. I would be at a warehouse. It would be to the detriment of my family life if I did have one.
But now, oh, go ahead, Deb.
That I can understand that, because I know at one point in time I had a desk and a computer in here in this room, and that's where I did all of my business activities. And my husband would come and stand at the door, and just kind of stand there. And so I had to take my main computer and move it into the living room, because I wasn't participating with my household. I was off kind of by myself. And it was like that in our old house too. The computer was upstairs, and then I had another computer that was downstairs, but it was off down the hall in the dining room area that was totally separate from the living room. So again, we were kind of totally separated in the same house, and that doesn't work for us, because there's just no cohesion of the family. If you're off in another room somewhere, it's like you might as well be in another building somewhere, and that doesn't work.
Well, we were actually laughing about it a week or two ago, because now, we have a 16-year-old daughter, and our son will be 14 in a month, and between them and him and just life, I have really enjoyed him finding you guys, because now it's like, okay, yes, please work until 11 o'clock at night so I can have a couple hours just to myself, to sit and watch some random movie, or to sit and drool, or
right.
Whatever. I think that could be a definite positive of the business is, it's adaptable as your family changes. When we first started out, our daughter was just, wasn't even a year old. So we can cater what we do around our family, and how our family grows, and how our family changes. And Windsor's old enough to drive now, which she isn't, but her boyfriend does, and so we'll tell him, hey, load up your car and run these packages for us. That's one thing that's off our back, and it just evolves. And it's, if you can pull it off, if you do have kids, I think that's probably the best part about it is how you can evolve your business around the kids and around your life and what you want to do.
We went, the boys and I, we tend to travel a lot. We'll go to, my mom lives at the beach, so we'll go see her, and John's parents live at the beach now, and so we'll go down and see them. And I try to get, stuff as the boys and I are vacationing, I pick, a bit while we're gone, and just try to incorporate. It kind of gets incorporated into everything. Mm-hmm. I want them to see that, like the boys. I'm trying to show them things. I'm like, oh, hey, check this out. This book, whatever. This mommy got this for this, and I'm gonna sell it for this, on Amazon. And they typically have the whole, why would somebody pay that when you paid that? When you paid 25 cents, why would somebody pay $50 for it? And I'm trying to kind of teach them to do it, because I kind of hope that they're going to want to do it with me when they're a little bit older. I don't know. But I try to work it in around things that we're doing, things that we were going to do anyways. I try to, try to incorporate it a little bit, I guess.
Well, I think it was you two. I think it was you two ladies, or Danica, or I don't remember. We were telling this story about our daughter going to the museum on a field trip, and it was in the city that we used to live in. So she wanted to take money, and I said, "You can have $10. That's it. You don't need anything else from this museum." And she was 10 years old at the time. So she went, and they had this stuffed animal that she wanted, and it was like $15. And she took it up to the cashier and put her $10 down on the checkout area and said, $10 cash out the door. And the cashier laughed and said, okay. And
that's pawn shop terminology.
I love it.
Yeah. Cash out the door.
And so, she knows. We've taught her, if you're dealing in cash, most times you can kind of negotiate your own terms on prices. And at 16 years old, she can haggle with the best of them.
That's something I wish I could do. I'm terrible at haggling. Like, I'll give it like one go, and if they don't come anywhere near what I want, then I just walk away.
You're like, how much is this? It's $40. Oh, will you take 30? No. Okay, here's 45.
Yeah. I thought it was an auction. Yeah, I'm terrible. I am absolutely terrible with like, it makes me uncomfortable. And I wish it didn't, but it does. It makes me so uncomfortable because, like, I'm from the South. I had my whole good Southern upbringing. You don't talk about money. You don't, it's almost like a taboo, kind of thing. Nobody talks about what they make and just money in general, and I don't know if it comes from that or if it's just, I don't know, but it makes me so uncomfortable to talk, to haggle over things, and I don't know. I wish I could. It
came over time. It used to make me really uncomfortably awkward, but I think just the more I did it and the more I realized in the back of my mind, hey, this is how I make a living. I've got to do this. I've got to learn to do it. I mean, because believe it or not, I was a shy kid growing up. I mean, I failed speech class. They put me up there. I think I started crying and said I want to go home to my mommy probably or something, but like seriously. But I'm not the kind of person that normally would approach people and be bold, and somewhere over the years I kind of gained that, and I'll get out there and haggle with people. It doesn't bother me a bit. I mean, I'll flat out ask them, hey, you got anything else? If it's an estate sale, hey, is there anything else in the attic? Is there anything in the garage? Can we go look at it? I mean, and you get in the back of your mind too, I always remember, hey, I'm probably never going to see these people again. So.
See, I don't have a problem. I'll even, some of the people that, like the junk stores that we go to or whatever, if I find things that I want personally, we've got a good enough relationship, I'll look at them and go, this is for me personally, so don't try to play me and you're haggling with Dusty because I won't pay what he pays, and joke around. And I actually did that with a bed one day. I'm like, this is for my personal home, and I found one down the street for X amount, so don't try and think you're going to get this amount. And, I love it. I think it's fun. And
it's like today, Chad and I went to one of his little stores down the road, and it's this guy that's this old, I think he's a Vietnam vet. He says he's a vet. I don't know, but old Vietnam vet, kind of looks like something out of the Grateful Dead, older guy, the full white beard and white long hair and a ponytail, and I get to look and whatever. Chad goes out to the car, and I'm gone. I'm in there like 45 minutes. I just start talking to the guy, and the next thing I know, I'm in his back room, and he's showing me all this different stuff that he has for sale, and I just kind of, I don't know, I've never really met a stranger in this business, and that's one of the things that fascinates me about it is the ability to just get in there and talk to these people and meet new people and learn new things, and I don't know.
Another way to, I was reading in the comments, and Anissa said it's marked 50 cents. Will you take 10? A way to ease your way into haggling, or whatever you want to call it, is, if you're at a garage sale or a flea market or wherever, and I've talked about this in a couple of our videos, if you find several things you want, lump them in a group and say, would you take X amount of money for this amount of stuff? And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a better price because, you may have, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. It's one of my biggest things that I hate in the haggling business is people always go, well, I don't know. When I do bundle stuff, they go, I don't know, make me an offer. And I break the ice by just laughing. I go, oh, please don't make me go first. I hate going first. And when you say that, usually they laugh, and it totally breaks the ice. And 9 times out of 10, at that point, then they'll go, well, I'm thinking $50, or they'll throw out a number then.
And they're always going to go higher.
It's just little tricks you learn. It's kind of like being a used car salesman, or I could never do and wouldn't want to do, but I don't know.
But I'll also look at them and go, $2. That's my running bid for everything. Somebody will say, how much do you want for something? I'll say $2, and it can be a $50,000 car. $2. $2. Just get it out of my house.
Okay, so let's hop on Caesar's second question here. For John and Tristan and Deb, for your husband, do you guys ever feel like you're competing for attention or quality time due to the business? You do. I mean, you do a lot in the business, Tristan, so I don't know.
And I'm not Thurston.
Yeah, Thurston. Tristan. No, Tristan.
Caesar. Kazar. No. No, I feel, well, there are times. They're like, November through January 1st, I don't have a lot to do with the business because I'm mom full-time, trying to get the holidays and everything done, and that's our busiest time, so we have to set date nights, or we have to set certain times and places and, make that time. But right now, it kind of goes back to what I said earlier about our kids being at the age where they're at. I am so incredibly busy with things outside with them, with him, work, all of that, no, not really, not right now. But yeah, the time has been there where I have had to look at him and say, no, time's up, you're done.
Yeah, she'll go, okay, that's enough. It is, I just got up out of bed, I went to use the restroom, and it is 12:30 at night, and you're still in a hangout.
4:30 in the morning. I've come in at 4:30 in the morning. You'd still be on the computer.
But no, that's usually like if I'm having a work marathon.
Well, yeah.
And that's not necessarily a hangout, but it's a check. It's a check and balance. Yeah, there's been times. Yeah, there definitely has. Yeah.
Not at all.
Or Danica.
I did all your stuff that I can tell while I'm at work during
I
the
know
day.
when I started doing the hangouts and doing the working hangouts and stuff, and my husband thought I was spending too much time doing that. But then, just yesterday, yesterday, he was like, I think I made a mistake. And I was like, why? And he goes, well, because you were getting a lot of work done, and then now, right now, I'm having a really hard time, getting kind of in the groove of doing things and all of that. And he's like, I think I made a mistake in telling you not to, to stop doing that because now you're not getting as much done. But the problem that he had was that I was staying up too late, and I wasn't putting a stop point that was appropriate, like I was saying earlier, the workday's done, the workday's done. There's no reason to turn your workday in an 18-hour day, just because you're not focused enough to get it done in 8, that kind of. So I think that was the only thing that, I have a difficult time with is just kind of being efficient with my time in that it doesn't turn into a whole day thing where I'm, only using 15 minutes out of each hour to actually do work.
Johnny?
No, not at all. The only time I would even notice it would be on some Fridays that I have off, or even on the weekends. And on Fridays, I consider that to be a normal work day anyway. It just happens that I was off at that time, so I just go ahead and work on projects around the house. And on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, normally we're working together on projects around the house, and when it comes to a point where it's something I need to do without her on the project, then she'll go and work on this stuff. So it really doesn't affect anything we do.
I try not to, like, I don't do nighttime hangouts and, the night shows, because that's my family time. That's the time that we all have together. John's home by, like, 6:15 or so. Like, if he's home, if that's when he's going to be home, then that's when I'm done with everything, and that's family time. I try really, really hard to make sure that, that my stuff, that everything is done, or, I'm at a stopping point or whatever, so that it doesn't interfere with anything, that the boys have going on, or, having supper ready on time kind of thing. For me, I'm a mom and wife first, and I'm a reseller very far behind that. And I try to keep it that way. I try to make sure that it doesn't interfere with our quality time. But that's my thing. Go ahead.
I think it actually kind of benefits my husband sometimes that I do this, because he has his own business as well. He's a full-time job, but he also has a business of his own. And when he's doing a project, he can be gone for 4 days, and he's, like, gone before I wake up, and he gets back at 10 o'clock at night. And if I didn't have something else to do, I would be that crazy wife that's like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Like, every 45 minutes, when are you coming home? And so it kind of benefits him, in that I'm not, I'm busy, I'm doing something else, so he's not here, that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Oh, yeah, see, that's the kind of thing, that's the whole reason I wanted to do this show. Shan just said that she gets yelled at all the time for staying up late at night trying to get work done. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing, the whole reason that I wanted to do this was, to give them some positive.
I think it's a big deal that the staying up late. I think one of the main chief complaints that my husband has was you have all day. And I do. I have all day. He leaves the house at 6 a.m. He comes back at 4. I have all day. And he's like, why can't you do it then? And to me, I was like, I thought it was him taking a hit at me for being unproductive, when really it was more of like, this is supposed to be my time, for, like, that family time that you're talking about, Danica, and I would instead, pull my work day into 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night.
It's easy to do. I mean, I think it would be very easy for me to get lost in it and, neglect a lot of what I consider my duties. That's, for me, it's, I want, I take care of, the house, and I want to have, supper ready and that kind of thing. Those are the things that make me feel good. Things that, like the house, the wife things that I do, the mom things I do. Those are the things that they make me happy and they make me feel good. They make me feel like I'm doing good things, I guess, doing good works. But it would be really easy for me to let those kind of fall by the wayside because of this stuff. So it's a very conscious, effort on my part to make sure that I don't do that. I'm not trying to be rude with people and things like that. The hangouts and the, all that stuff. It's just, hey, Mike.
Hey!
Hi.
Wait, this isn't the chat for how to beat your kids and not let people see it?
Oh, I let people see me.
Later. That's later. How are you guys?
Good, we're good. We just came home from a basketball game. My
How'd
daughter.
it go?
Horrible. He scored only 2 points that the team scored.
Well, hey, at least it was her that scored it.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we said.
We were talking about our family's roles, you know, in our businesses, and you guys pretty much work it together, right? I know you both source, but how does it work for you guys?
Well, Mike's the administrator. He takes care of like all the customer service and all the billing and all that stuff. I'm more like the one that goes out with him to do all the sourcing or by myself, and then when we come home, I'm the one that cleans up everything and packages everything. He's just listing items. I don't like messing with the computer and stuff like that.
You just like to do the shopping.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. We had a couple questions.
I think we all need a mic because I don't think anybody likes doing the listing.
Yeah.
I don't want a mic. Sorry.
You want to
Not my type of ball game, if you know what I mean.
If I get a Tristan, you have to get a mic because got to even out somehow. Okay, so do you guys? We already answered these questions, so now you guys get like a little interview. So, as a married couple, what are your likes and dislikes about the business? You know, working it together, or just the business period. I lost my thing.
I guess I'm a fast worker. I work fast, and Mike's a little, like, he's a perfectionist, so he takes a little longer to do things, and that's where my frustration comes, where I just want to, let's go, let's get it done, and he's more like, no, wait, let's do this, let's do that, where I could do, like, 300 items in, like, 2 hours, clean them up, and get them ready to ship. He'll take all day.
It's just not quick enough. Are you a no wire hangers kind of guy, Mike?
I spend most of my extra time cleaning up all the broken things that she does.
No. No, not true. I think
I just like to get it all done the right way the first time, so I take a little more time. That's all.
I do it right the first time too, just faster. I think the other frustrating thing is like juggling, like, because like I work a full-time job, and then, you know, full-time mom, you know, kids do sports and all this stuff, and then on top I have to clean the house, wash clothes and everything, and then I do all of it, and then if it's on top, he's like, well, can we do this for Amazon today? Can we go shopping for Amazon? And I'm like, wait, I need time. I need to schedule this because I can't just go out shopping because there's other stuff that I have to do. That's where it gets a little frustrating, and we sometimes fight.
Butt heads, yeah.
Yeah.
I almost think it's better for me that I love you. I almost think it's better for me that it's just, you know what I mean, that John.
I totally concur.
Right, I could see us doing that. I could see us like butting heads, you know, and yeah, I could see that happening.
We'd have to do separate selling.
One of the main reasons why I even wanted to do SBA to begin with was because I thought it was something that I could get my husband to help me with. I wanted him to do like the packing and the stickers and the, you know, putting things in poly bags and stuff, because that was like a goal that I had. I was like, okay, if I can, you know, make this a team effort, that would be awesome, you know. So I think it's awesome that Mike and his wife have that kind of team effort thing going on.
I do too.
But it doesn't work for everybody, you know.
Yeah. I think we would fight. I think that we would. I do. I think that if he did, I mean, I wish he would want. I kind of want him to, but at the same time, like what you just said, I can so see that happening between the two of us. Like I can totally see that happening.
I think the other thing for me is that I'm kind of in a point in my life where And I mean, everything is good for us. I know, Danica, we had talked about this in the past. Nothing has to be in a home. Like, I don't have to send out Amazon packages unless I really want to. Like, I can skip 2-3 weeks and nothing's going to happen to it.
Yeah.
Just a personal goal to be able to make certain amounts of money. But for us, because we're both full-time workers already, whatever we do extra is just extra. I mean, it's just a matter of making the personal goal. Dusty's wife is there.
My wife has a full beard and a mustache.
She is beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
That's Dusty's second wife right there.
I think that the fact that you guys have full-time jobs kind of plays into the fact that you can work together, though. I almost have an idea that if it were your only income, it would kind of turn it into a totally different ballgame. Right. You know?
There's
you have that
stress.
need. You have to get started.
Yeah, you have to do. You go do it. Like it's just kind of like I think it would turn it into a totally different situation.
Do you have that stress? Like she's talking about, because this is your guys' only income. And Chad, you and Kim are the same way, right? This is your only income?
You're talking about the stress of having to provide and the money? No. Honestly, it was more stressful when we had full-time jobs. Okay, here you go. I had to learn to realize I can do this without. My biggest worry for years was health insurance. And I finally, 4 or 5 years ago, had to go, you know what? We're just going to get health insurance on our own and not be tied down, even if we have to pay more. And when that big millstone wasn't hanging around our neck anymore, I think that it kind of became, and then we were able to quit our jobs and do this full time. I mean, yeah, there's been months where we stress, but we've also, the trade-off of not feeling tied down to something has been a lot better. Does that make sense?
Have you ever had an instance? Have you ever had an instance where, because since Tristan does kind of like the prep work or whatever, and you're the kind of listing shopping guy, have you ever had a time where she got upset with you for not being productive because you guys had something that was due or something that was, like, come on, babe, you need to get to work, we got an electric bill coming, like that kind of thing?
No, because honestly, in our relationships, I kind of handle the bills only because, and we started that years ago. Not for any particular reason. She just said, hey, as long as we're paying the bills and you can take care of it, if you don't want me in it, I don't want to be in it. I mean, she knows how much money's in the checking account. She knows if we're doing good or we're doing bad, but, she couldn't tell you from month to month what bill is due specifically when, because I handle that. And I try to be good. Sometimes I'm not good about it, but I try to typically be good and communicate with her, hey, I'm a little stressed right now. It's December 10th or whatever. Christmas is coming up. I need to know from you what you need to buy for Christmas presents. We need to come up with a budget. And she'll say, okay, can we have X amount of dollars? And I'll either say yes or no, or hey, we could probably squeeze this. I mean, it's all been about communication. I mean, there's been a lot of things in our marriage for 18 years that we've had to learn to communicate better. And when we do communicate on those things, it hasn't really been stressful. I mean, we've been, what does that mean? Safari web content quit unexpectedly.
So,
I don't know anything about Macs, and I'm on one, so.
Dusty's all scared.
I am scared. I'm all, what's the any key?
Okay. Caesar, go ahead.
I was gonna ask. So you guys, Mike, y'all, you said you were doing your business as like whatever was extra. That was extra income. Is that something that you have a goal for? Like, are y'all, is that your vacation money, or is that you're getting a new car money, or it's just extra?
The way that I see it as a hobby. I think what works between he and I is that we like money. And I mean,
money? Who likes money?
we like making money and stuff, and we're both really hard workers. So he was talking about the stress of being tied down to a job or whatever. I like what I do for my job, and I've been with the company for 14 years now. So I think it's so easy that I'm able to do like the hobby that we do is selling on Amazon.
And as far as
So is it more like a cushion? It's like a cushion for you,
Yeah.
like.
it's not even that. See, there's bigger goals for it. The next step is obviously I already talked about this before, but we want to automate the Amazon and the eBay side of it because I'm more steered towards I want to buy and sell real estate again.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to buy and sell it in a different way than I did in the past, and these businesses will help me do that. So the next goal is to buy and sell real estate, and we bought and sold real estate in the past together, and we know how we work already with that. So that's the next step is real estate side of it.
So
Will you guys keep doing this once you get back into flipping?
Probably.
Well, it'll just be like more management, like just keeping things rolling and going. But for the most part, I think we may do sourcing on some level in the beginning when it gets automated. But one of the things that Dallas Moore was talking about the other day was having people just going out buying the things that are on your list. So you can actually automate the sourcing portion too. If you have a VA giving you a list of things that need to be purchased at certain stores, and then you pay somebody to go buy those things for you, then you don't even have to do the sourcing portion, right? It's just a matter of once you build it big enough where it can pay for all of the things to be done, then you can manage that side of the business. And you don't need to.
But that's when it comes down to it's just about the money. Because if you take out the sourcing, you take out the fund, then it's just the money. And
well, that's the thing is it is just the money because I want to use that money to buy real estate because that's what I really do. I love to buy and sell real estate. I like being in that. It's just that I want to make sure I have a business doing it. I don't want my personal funds to be in the mix.
And we've made it really clear in the past, I don't think that Kim and I are hobbyists when it comes to it, but we also don't rely on it 100% because I have my full military pension. So, we don't like to say we're part-time because we put in full-time effort and stuff like that. And I don't know, we're not hobbyists and we're not 100% like this guy who, it's all or nothing. That's their income. And
it is all or nothing, but I've also felt like maybe, I hope I never was misleading. We also don't live definitely don't live like what we used to when we were first married. We first married, we don't have a car payment anymore. We don't have credit cards anymore. We don't own any credit cards anymore. So when you look at our monthly bills and you go, oh my gosh, you're making ends meet, we live minimally.
Yeah.
We really, really, really do. And
they have 5 tents and they steal the neighbor's Wi-Fi.
That's right.
You talking to me to get rid of my satellite.
Yeah, we're on the way moving over here, and I'm helping him clean out. I'm like, dude, I didn't even know you. I've been down here twice, and we stayed for 5 or 6 days, and I was like, I didn't even know you had satellite. He's like, well, yeah, we don't watch it. And I was like, well, how much do you pay a month? And he told me, I was like, dear God, man, get rid of it.
$235 a month.
Yeah, $250 a month, and you don't even watch it.
We got all the Flex channels.
You're talking about being frugal. Mike's very frugal, very, very frugal. So that took some time to adjust to, but everything's in a budget, and I think it helps when you try to open up a business to have budgets and to know how much you're spending and so forth.
You may be frugal, but I've seen your purses.
Hey, that's the thing too. My wife has a purse. That's funny you mentioned that. My wife has more. I always tell her she has more shoes than Imelda Marcos, and she has this massive purse collection, and they're all real, and they're Gucci and they're Coach and they're real thing. But you know what? They came from storage unit auctions where we found them with department store tags on them. So we know they're real, or they came from thrift stores. They came from high-end estate sales. We don't, for me to walk into somewhere, let's just put it this way, outside of groceries, for me to walk into a store and pay full price for something brand new is extremely unusual because I've learned to be a cheapskate. If you want to call it that, but we've also raised our kids where they realized, hey, you can sometimes get a lot better deal getting the same item used.
Well, that's one of the things that we discussed early on when before we got married and stuff is she likes her nice things, and I, as a budgeter, had to have some give on that side. So when Chad talks about her having a nice person, it was painful. But then I started doing a budget thing just for those nice things. Like
Right.
she wants to get her nice nails done,
Oh,
and she
gosh.
wants to get her, all these things, and I budget for those things. And at the beginning, yeah, it sucked because it was like, oh my God, here it comes again. But now I budget for it. I understand it's coming, at a certain time of the year, or whatever the first time is coming up, or whatever. And because of the budgeting, it definitely makes it a lot easier. I mean, it's all about the plan. I don't know how many times I say it everywhere I go, but it's all about making that plan in the beginning so that everything is easier later on.
But taking it back to working together and doing Amazon or eBay, whatever it is that you're doing, you have to have communication with your spouse.
Yeah.
If one is pulling one direction and the other one's going the other direction, it's not going to work out.
And as far as the work time thing you guys were talking about, yeah, I mean, we do part time. We really do only, take like part time, and then we might do like a full time day or a full day on a weekend or something like that. But when we do it, we are like all in, no holds barred. I mean, when people see me in the hangouts, I really am on a schedule. I'm only going to be in that hangout for like 20, 30 minutes tops. And that's my break, and then we're just like killing it the rest of the time. And I know I've seen a lot of people that are in the hangouts and they're like lollygagging and not really working, but they're there all day, and it's like, well, are you full time or are you just?
Because we're the same people that are at the office coming over to your cubicle, going, "What are you doing? You want to go get some coffee?
Water cooler crew.
And I understand you can't be 100% all in every time. People just aren't built that way. But
Yeah.
But if you're at least doing 80-20, or even 70% of the time you're all in on what you're doing, you're going to get a whole lot more done. I think that's where it helps us, because when we're working the stuff, when we're actually in here, nobody comes in and bothers us. No kids are coming around. They know we're working. It's a big difference.
We also planned, I think I've talked about that before. We also planned back in October how our fourth quarter was going to go different this year. And we went all in, and those of you that did see me in the Hangouts up to about mid-December knew that there's a different Dusty back then. I was usually working in Hangouts, and now I am that guy that is lollygagging. But we did that with a purpose, because I said, hey, Tristan, if we bust our asses from, oops, sorry, there's a child in the room. We bust our bottoms from October to right up at Christmas, we are going to be able to take some time off in January, February, and then we'll hit it hard again with spring toys, summer toys, water toys, summer type stuff. So we worked extra hard with a goal in mind, and that was to be that we would, where most people take time off with their family in December, we didn't really do that as much. We planned to do it more in January and February. So, not making excuses for why I'm hanging out in Florida, but I mean, that's the truth of, we planned it.
You do what you can do, right? I mean, I guess I was trying to explain more that, we have pretty good numbers for somebody who we don't do a whole lot of work on the business. But I was just explaining that the reason why is whenever we do the work, it's like all in,
Mike said we're lazy. I heard him.
Oh, my real wife is back.
Like those lazy people that just BS all day long, and I see them. I come in, and I'm working, and they're just like, we know you're talking about us.
I make him get off of I won't lie, I make him get off because he's already slow. And then he gets all those hangouts and he's slower, and I'm like, we gotta finish. I have clothes to wash. I have this to do. I have that to do. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, she usually does like.
Is she beating you, Mike? You can tell us. You can tell us if she's beating you.
Not anymore.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
But she does take all the stickers off of the stuff and put, bag things and all that kind of stuff. And then she usually runs out of work, and I'm the one doing everything.
No, I'm watching in the other room, and I just want to ask Mike something. Are you trying to see how many people you can piss off in one night?
Yeah, that's our goal.
That's my goal. Yeah.
I love when I have to
You
compete
just
with
lost
Wesley
24 viewers. No, just kidding.
Right.
You're welcome.
Okay. At what point do you throw in the towel and say, okay, we're done sourcing for the day, or spending money sourcing?
When I fall over and pass out.
We run out of coffee.
No,
I mean, it's a bad habit. No, really, that's the truth. And
for
it's
us, it's when we run out of space in the car.
Yeah.
We can't fit any
We can't
more
fit
stuff.
anything else. That's usually like when we do a full sourcing day on the weekend. That's when we're like, okay, well the kids won't fit anymore, so we're got to go to the house.
Because I have to sit them in first and then stuff on top of them. So that's when we're like, that's it. We're done.
They have car seats with cages built around them.
We put them on top of the roof.
That's why we carry this around. We can tape them down.
Ours is usually when I'm like,
Fine, just keep your mouth closed.
I mean, I hate to say it, mine is usually the point where I'm doing labels for FBA or something, and I make like the third mistake in 5 minutes and totally realize, okay, if I don't stop now, I'm going to screw this up, and I'm going to mislabel everything.
This is
I'm done.
sourcing.
Oh, we're talking about sourcing.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were just talking about working.
Keep up, Dusty.
He knows we're done when he finds me sitting in the middle of a floor somewhere.
We have pictures at Christmas of like on my phone of Walgreens, and there's me with like 3 carts full of stuff,
And I'm in the
her
floor.
sitting in the floor in Walgreens on her phone like this, looking at me like, really?
I've actually had employees ask me, do you need a drink? Can we get you some food? Or we
have
because they know. And I'm like, no, I'm fine, just let me know when he's done, or, But yeah, that's usually when he looks for me and I'm sitting in the corner somewhere drooling.
When you're giving him the evil eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, I usually just leave him. I mean, we source different. We look for different things, and he goes one way and I go another, and I'm pretty fast where he has to touch every little thing and inspect the dust, and
Bullshit.
no. I've made it completely around the store 3 times, and he's still on aisle 1, and I just dump everything I found in the buggy or whatever, and then I'm like, okay, time's up. Let's go. I get bored really quick and really fast. So.
If I go out and I've got the boys, it's pretty much, are we done yet? Are we done yet? Do you have everything that was on your list? Did you get something that wasn't on your list? Because you shouldn't get things that aren't on your list. Are you ready to go, Mom? Is it time to go? Oh, wow, look, we've been here for 15 minutes. Are you ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much when it's time to go. And
How old are they?
10 and 13, they're not big shoppers. So if I want to go sourcing, then I will leave them at home, and say, okay, you still have history to read. You need to read this classic novel for an hour, and do this thing that I don't need to be there for. And then I can go up to the store and grab whatever it was that I saw that I needed to go get. But I try to know what I'm going for. If it's retail ARB, if I'm going to Goodwill, then I just set a time limit on how long I'm going to be there. And if I get something, I get something. If I don't, then I walk out.
My daughter, I don't have a problem because I always tell her, I'm like, oh, come on, let's go. You might find a treasure. And she's like, okay. So she can, and she'll go look for, fancy shoes. That's where she always ends up with some kind of shoe that's totally inappropriate because it's $5 and it was her treasure. So.
I don't know what I missed. I had to run off for a second, but I was reading the chat and somebody said I never take my husband. That would be a recipe for disaster. You know, it's funny. I'm probably the only man alive that likes to go to Hobby Lobby because they have a giant wall of clearance. So, I mean, I hate the store itself, but I know it doesn't matter where she takes me. If she says, hey, let's go to Sally Beauty Supply, that's fine with me
No,
because I'm going to
hold on,
find some hair
hold on.
products that are on sale that I can turn around
No,
and sell and make
hold
some
on.
money.
See, here's the thing. We are together so much. And I can be like, hey, I'm going to run to Hobby Lobby because I need Mod Podge or whatever. Oh, I'll go. It's like, no, I'll run to Hobby Lobby. You know, I can't even run to Sally's. I could, you know, even to the point where I could say, I've got to go get tampons. And he'd be like, oh, pick up 15 more boxes. You know, I don't even need, you know,
Dusty is the queen of tampons and poise pads.
It doesn't matter what age woman you are. We got all your vaginal needs.
You know, if it sells, I don't care. If it sells and pays the bills, I mean, hey. So,
yeah.
so much for the family show part. I'm just listening to the Toadcast.
Well, half the people in here know what vaginas are.
Yeah, we had the same problem. We went to go buy groceries at Aldi one evening. It was
toys.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was supposed to be like a 5-minute trip for like milk for the kids for the next morning. No, dude, we shut the place down. Like we were literally there till they were kicking us out. Like, okay, you guys got.
You gotta go.
They're on the intercom, but you're the only ones there. You know, they're like, the store is closed.
I even use my lunch hour to go sourcing at all the different stores.
Yeah.
But I understand what, I don't know your name, Dusty's wife.
Kristen.
Kristen, okay. I understand what you're talking about. There's not a lot of alone time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard when you want to go to the store and just look around and then they start scanning.
Yeah, yeah. It was the Walgreens trip.
Yeah.
I literally have a picture of me sitting in the middle of the floor with
They
him.
start scanning, yeah, and you're like, really? Like.
Well,
I came in for Tylenol.
it's funny you mentioned Aldi because we went there right before Christmas, and it was like, we've got to get a Christmas turkey, and we've got to do this and that and whatever. And I immediately go to that center part. Of those of you familiar with Aldi stores, you have to have, first of all, you have to have a quarter to get a shopping cart. So you have to put a quarter in the thing to get your shopping cart. So we get our cart and all that, and we get to the middle part, and it's like, oh, Hello Kitty toys. And I'm like, Tris, these are $12.99, and they're scanning for $39.99. And I'm immediately like, do you have another quarter? I got to go get another cart. So that's like, and she's trying to do all this grocery shopping, and we usually work pretty good together grocery shopping. She's like, where are you? And I'm like texting her back, I'm at the car unloading the cart of stuff I just bought. I'll be right back. Yeah.
Or we'll take off somewhere like Aldi to get groceries and leave with nothing but reselling items and no groceries because there's not room for both. The kids are like, I'm hungry. Well, there's water.
Here's some Vagisil. Be quiet.
Yeah. Here's a tampon. Go boil it.
Make tea. You just dunk it in.
Yeah. It's a tea. Pretend it's a tea bag.
But you know, I think that's part of why we're able to do what we do and do it full time is because I am always, you know, my head's always on a swivel. I am always scanning. And, you know, I don't know. That's just me, I guess.
Well,
I'm not going to apologize for it, so there you go.
We need to. No, I don't mind, but there are days where I have to say no. You know, I'm running out. Leave me, or I'll go out with my girlfriend shopping or lunch or something. Did you find anything? I didn't look. I take breaks. I went to Starbucks for coffee to drink right then, or no, nothing was on sale. He's definitely the shopper, but I've brought surprises home at times. But yeah, no.
Or she'll text and say, hey.
Which one is better at sourcing? Like, which one of you comes home with better stuff?
I do.
Oh, there's a competition right there. They both raise their
Oh, I don't know. I don't know where I would place my bet on that one.
I just sold a piece of software that I paid $4 for $120. So, yeah.
Wow.
I have 4 more of them.
Well, you see,
sitting in my
I can't see what the stuff I buy sells for because I don't do the administrative
You just have
part.
to trust me. I'm
Oh,
doing better
whatever.
than you.
Oh, you don't even tell her.
He's like, yours is less. You just have to believe me.
Yeah.
When it comes to retail sourcing, retail arbitrage, whatever you want to call it, barcode scanning, that would probably be me. But as far as when it comes to like at our junk
Yeah.
store,
You got
like
some-
when it, like at our junk store.
I don't love retail arbitrage.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't care what we sell as long as, I've got money to buy groceries and pay power bills and, stuff like that. That's not my favorite. But if we're out doing that, then I know more the girly stuff that women would be like, heck yeah, I'll pay $25 for that $2 item because they don't make it anymore or whatever. I'll throw stuff at him. But we kind of compete sometimes.
Mhm.
I don't know. We look at different things. Different things catch our eyes, and things that he thinks of to look up, I wouldn't. But the one that's coming to my mind is the frat book
Crap.
at that. I'm so tired. Jeez, the state. And you didn't do much. And I'm like, no, this is an old South fraternity book from like the 40s or 30s or something.
Oh, yeah. And there's we're kind of a good yin and yang or whatever you call it. I mean, there's she finds yeah.
Let me just say it this way. He's the verb and the noun and I'm the adjective. He does the stuff and I just do it because I can. He's the breadwinner and I just kind of come in and have fun. That pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of us. Only he has a real job. Like I do this. Like what I do has zero bearing. Deb had to go so that she has to get her daughter to bed. What I do has like zero bearing on our financial situation. Like it doesn't even play in our budget or anything. It just goes right back into, getting more stuff.
I enjoy it because I don't do it as much as he does. We do it all together, but, there are days we'll go out and I won't look for anything to read. I mean, I'm always looking, but, it's not my intention to necessarily go out and, hey, find a great thing. But the days that I do, I rub it in.
The days that she doesn't want to go out, I usually go, hey, I'm going to our local storage unit buyer guy. They got a new load in, and I'm going with the 100% intention of buying stuff for resale. But her knowing that there's going to be purses and shoes and things in there, good stuff in there, that's kind of my incentive. I'm like, you want to go with me? She's like, yeah. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if she doesn't find anything, and I don't mean that's not to make it sound like her job's not important helping me, but at the end of the day, she goes to have fun, and if she does find something, then
I go to spend time with you, lover.
Yeah, mine goes with me to appease me a lot of times too. Don't worry.
And there's days I get bribed to go. I'm just like, no, I've got too much to do. Well, I'll take you to your favorite restaurant for lunch. Okay. That laundry can sit another week.
I mean, we're best friends too, so when she's not with me, it's not the same. It's just, I don't know. We just get along.
I think if John was a reseller, we would be in total competition. Like I don't even know that we would have the same accounts. Like that's what he said earlier. He said that earlier. He's like, if we did it, we'd have to have separate accounts because I'm best when I'm competing against someone. Like in an exercise class, I'll pick that person and I'm like, I'm totally gonna kick your ass. I'm so gonna last longer than you, and I'm gonna do so much better than you. I need that. Like, I need something. I need some kind of
motivation.
Like I have to go. I'm all in.
Well, I think it depends on where we go because when it's like yard sale season, it's on. It is on like Donkey Kong. We are who can get out of the car fastest, who can find It really just depends on where we go, I think.
Yeah, too.
In the
I
States,
don't like the yard sale stuff. That's one thing he cannot motivate me to go do.
John hates yard sales. He would never go in for that.
oh, see, I love it. It's like hidden treasures.
I love yard sales.
And
I
if
think
I
it's just
do,
because I
that's
know
when I kick your ass right there. Is
You
when
do well whenever you,
Yeah,
you
when I do.
accidentally do very well at
Oh,
yard sale.
But
It's
it's
like
favorite.
when
No, it's funny. Picks up things that you're like, I'm not even looking in the same area or whatever, and she'll dig like in the box, down on the bottom of some box of what looks like total garbage to me, and she pulls out like a $50 freaking what is it, the voice recorder things, and I'm like, where the hell did that come from?
The
Sony
cameras,
Walkman,
those
and she
old
got
cameras.
camera. She got like camera lenses that would end up being like a couple $100. We got them for like
Mm-hmm.
$1 each. Like,
yeah, like divide and conquer.
yeah.
And
I'm on my own for stuff like that. He hates yard sales, thrift stores. I can never get him to go to. Well, you
I'm with you there in spirit all the time.
in the form of my bank card, pretty much.
except estate sales. He found me crying in a bedroom in an estate sale one time because great grandma's wedding dress was for sale.
Oh,
I can't do estate
She
sales.
doesn't do storage units very well either.
No. Because you always open a box and there's somebody's personal things that require batteries. And I'm like, bleh, bleh. No, thank you.
Or
Somebody
photo
was
album.
somebody posted their Goodwill, like a picture from their Goodwill, and it was like the erotic corner. It was like used battery operated things in the Goodwill, and they had like little hearts behind it, and
Hearts.
for Valentine's.
Wow. I'd hate to have to get those shelf ready.
that is just. I was just like, oh my god, who donated that?
So what does it scan for?
Right? I mean,
But look, $5 in a box of chocolate, you got yourself some.
Valentine's is right around the
$5
corner,
in a
guys.
box of chocolates. You got yourself a divorce attorney.
there's a bolo for you, an Amazon bundle. I'll put that in the book. Get your Goodwill battery-operated device.
And some hand sanitizer.
Some hand sanitizer.
Speaking of batteries, Caesar asked a while ago, he said, how many times does your cell phone die during the day from too much scanning items?
Not at all.
Battery.
We fixed the problem. I got these little bad boys here charging on the go, and then we got spare batteries now. So yeah, we don't run out anymore.
You aren't playing.
We can do the whole day if we wanted to.
We're iPhone people, so unfortunately we can't do spare batteries, but we do the battery
We have
backups.
Mophis.
And we don't have Mophis for this
Oh, yeah.
generation though. And I am probably the world's most anal person when it comes to, I have a charger by my desk at home, I have a charger on my nightstand. There's
Nice
always,
segue into anal.
we have these little charger splitter things in the car. We have like 3 of them where you could plug 9 things in at one time. And there's always extra iPhone cords and extra cubes. And like when we travel, I take like 6 cubes and 6 cords just in case one of them. And my phone is always on 98%. Always.
Always.
Just to the point of obsessiveness.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I can't say that I haven't killed it because I have killed it quite a few times. I just try to plug it up in the car, you know, especially if I'm going different places, then I just try to plug it in the car. But I'm that person that, you know, I'm like, I never remember to charge my phone. Like John reminds me in bed at night, you know, to plug in my stuff, and I need one of those. Like one of the things that you guys have.
This saves your battery big time, but if you're just buying it just to save battery, it's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot of money.
pricey.
But this thing, you can scan literally all day long for like 2 or 3 days straight, and it doesn't run out.
Yeah.
And the scan just goes and goes on this, and it saves a ton of phone battery.
I know John's parents got some things. That's what I was just asking him. I can't remember what they're called. They were pretty cheap though. But they're like a little square. It's like a little square thing, and it was like a backup I can't remember if they were backup battery chargers.
That's what this is.
Those right there.
Is
Yeah.
that what that? Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
It's got the USB on it right here.
Yeah.
And then, so the smaller one is the one that charges this thing, and then the bigger one is what you charge your phone with. So you can have this with a wire coming out of your pocket right to your phone, and it'll be charging while you're scanning.
That's what theirs did. But there, it was like I don't know. It was like a little like 3x3-inch square, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know how. I think this is like the smallest one. This is 2,600 milliamps.
Targus, they call those the one that he has. They call those lipstick chargers, I think is the terminology for those. But the one you're talking about with your parents, we have one that's made by Targus that makes like laptop accessories and stuff. And ours is actually an iPad backup battery, so it charges at a higher milliamp charging rate. And you can take an iPhone from 0 to 100% with one of those in about 45 minutes, 30 minutes. So
That's good.
That's
we
pretty
use one of
cool.
those.
I need
But I can run a phone. I can run an iPhone from 100% down to the danger zone, which for me is like 20%, within a couple hours of scanning in the store or looking stuff up.
your phone will die that quick.
If it's a bad signal area and it's not a good 4G or LTE and it's constantly searching, and, you know, I don't run it in a lot, which is a lot of my stores. Or if you're in a metal building or out in the country or wherever.
My phone, I mean, if my phone is charged up at 100%, I can shop for hours. Like I could be there for hours. It's just the fact that I forget to charge my phone. So I'll stop at the first store and I'm under half of, my battery left. But if my battery's at full charge, I mean, it lasts for hours.
You don't plug it in when you get in the car?
Yeah, see that?
I don't. These are the things that I don't think of. I'm one of those people that if you didn't automatically breathe, that I would forget about it.
He plugs his phone up before he cranks the car.
There's another thing with Android too, is they have a fast charger. So there's like the smaller one on I guess it's the right side as you guys are looking at it, and then there's one that goes in double, and it actually does a quick charge on these. So we can go from store to store and get about an additional 15% on our battery just between stores.
Wow.
With the fast charger. So yeah, I mean, we're like plugging everything in as soon as we get in the car. Like, I mean, and we have stuff charging in the car while we're inside the store, and like, I mean, we've had where we were having phones die. The older, when we first started scanning, we had older phones. And now that we have the backups and stuff like that, we don't have any problem with phones dying.
Are you guys on iPhones too?
No.
No, it's all Android.
Okay.
The Galaxy.
Yeah. What is it?
See, I do the LG G3, and my battery. I mean, it's a killer battery. It lasts forever. It's just if I remember to plug it in. That's the thing.
Any other questions?
That's what I was looking to make sure that we answered everything, because if we did, I think we're good. Yeah, no, they're talking, they want to know what the link is for the one that you have, Mike.
Which one, the charger thing? Or
the scanner.
Yeah. No, somebody said the
scan file?
No, now I can't find it. Oh, they're talking about anal. I went too far.
What?
That was.
Wow.
Not a clue. Needed a drink on that one, did you, babe?
You have a different crowd in your hangouts.
Yeah, right.
The keyword is.
Apparently, that's the keyword for tonight. Yeah.
Anal.
Thanks, Albert.
No, because there's the Unitech scanner that you showed. He said is good for 5,000 scans before it needs a recharge. But somebody was asking for a link, but now I can't find it. I thought they were talking about your charger. Oh,
Yeah,
link for the portable charger.
Oh, this thing? I guess it's not about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me. Okay.
I actually got this at Tuesday morning. I don't know. I didn't get it off the internet, but we got it at Tuesday morning when it was half off of the clearance price. So it was clearance like by 40%, and it was half of that. And I think we ended up paying like $2 or something, $2 or $3.
No way.
Yeah, that's the only reason I had it, because otherwise I wouldn't have had it.
Okay, so we have one last question, and Caesar wants to know if you guys pay for any services for FBA. I do not.
Well, I'm not going to talk bad about Scan Power. I'm just going to say that I tried it and I didn't like it.
I was getting ready to say, tried it.
And that, but I mean, other people have great. They like it and they have
Good experience with it.
good experiences with it. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I didn't like it, so I left it. But as far as the other things, Profit Bandit, we've been doing Profit Bandit forever, whether you like it or not, Danica.
Whatever. Give money.
She's a Profit Bandit.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Is that the only thing you pay for is Profit Bandit?
No, well, I also use List Label Ship, which I was going to get rid of with Scan Power, but I paid for a year anyway, so I have List.
Well, List Label, isn't that only $5?
Yeah, it's
List Label Ship.
I paid for the whole year. So I think it was like $40 for it.
I pay $5 a month for it, and it's worth it.
Yeah.
Just to make it work, to make FBA and Amazon work easier with your Dymo. I mean, it's $5. I mean, seriously, come on. I was cutting and pasting FNQ before that from one browser screen, and no, it's worth the $5 a month. The only other thing I paid for,
Pro Merchant Account.
I mean, I've tried Profit Bandit, Profit Bandit when it's free. I've tried Scan Power. I've tried all of them. There's really nothing I can't do with an eBay app and the Amazon Seller app, with the exception of, and this isn't FBA related, I do pay monthly for WorthPoint, just because a lot of the stuff I sell is more collectible, is older, and it's worth it for me to be able to do the research, and that's like $19.95 a month. But yeah, outside of List Label Ship or List Label Scan, no, that's all I pay for.
And the Pro Merchant Account, you pay that, right?
And I do pay a Pro Merchant account for $49.95 a month, and I do pay eBay Store of $49.99. You know, but those come on my bill, and I don't even look at them. I've just got used to paying for them.
I liked Profit Bandit. Like, it was awesome because of, you know, being able to have that left tab and right tab set. But Profit Bandit cost me some money twice, so no more. I have camel on a bookmark on my phone so that I can just, you know, immediately pop it right up and put in an ASIN if I need to check something out. And other than that, I just use the eBay app, and, well, I don't even do anything on eBay anymore. But the Amazon Seller app, it hasn't, I haven't had any trouble with it. I know some people have said that they've had issues with the Seller app. I haven't had anything go wrong with the Seller app. I did with Profit Bandit, giving bad info, but with the Amazon Seller app, I haven't. So the only thing that I pay for is, I'm so not reading that until I'm done talking. The only thing that
Alberto, we are ignoring you. Yes.
Puppy.
Alberto, go to bed because you're done. You are so cut off.
But you know, Danica, you were talking about it's cost you money on things twice. I think for me, I don't know if that was a big purchase of multiple quantities, but for me, if I'm going to make a big purchase, I'm going to store and handle by 300 of a certain box of tampons. We'll throw that in there. You know, I'm not going to rely on just the Seller app or just the Profit Bandit app or whatever app I would, have had at the time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rely just on that. I'm going to physically get on my Safari browser on my iPhone, go to Camel, do a little research, go sit in the car maybe for a minute. I mean, before I sink a lot of money and stuff. Now, if it's one-off stuff, I mean, that's the only two apps you really need.
Yeah,
these were one-offs. These weren't big. Yeah, I would never rely on any app for a big purchase. That's just
the post-Christmas scanning. That's what we did. We did way more research on every item. Like, wasn't even big purchases. I mean, even the small stuff. We were like, because that was my first fourth quarter, and I noticed how the numbers and everything skewed just crazy. So I was concerned as I was scanning things, is this great because of Christmas, or is this great just because it's great, So she was having a problem with me checking every single thing online. That was one thing, but we ended up learning to be faster about checking the background on the bigger purchases, and being able to go into, like you said, camel, and checking FBA Toolkit and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Do you use FBA Toolkit on your phone?
I do. I go straight to the browser, and I have it set up on my browser all the time. So.
Does it show up well? Because I don't check it on my phone, so I wondered if it's.
It works perfectly. It works just like the computer, but I have it set so it's the desktop version, so it opens up just like it would on a desktop.
But FBA Toolkit is primarily for establishing what a ranking exactly means in that category, correct? But you're kind of an old pro now. I mean, isn't there going to be a point where you won't really even need that anymore?
Right.
Or is there that many categories you're not familiar with?
Well, the FBA Toolkit is something we had discussed earlier on. Remember, you printed out that list of the 20% and all that stuff, and I wasn't getting that. Like when you had that list, it didn't make sense. Like it didn't click in my head. So I started using the FBA Toolkit, and you're right. Now it's like the major categories, the ones that I almost always pick stuff up. I just know, okay, I already know.
That's bad, right? So eventually you'll phase that out.
Right. Yeah. I'm just saying that's part of what I was doing during that time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, now, even just a month later, I'm already like, that's beauty. I know that's not good, or that video game, that's not that great, or whatever. But yeah, for sure, you're absolutely right, Dusty. That'll be phased out eventually.
I'm trying to get people to use FBA Toolkit instead of printing out these lists that people post.
Yeah.
Because it's like, unless you made that list yourself, A, you don't know if their math is right or if they know what they're talking about, number one, B, it only takes you a couple of seconds to put it into the FBA Toolkit. And it does do other things, but not great things.
Well, I was going to, since we're on the subject of things to use for sourcing, there was something that I figured out because ScanPower had something that I liked, and it was an online scout sourcing thing where I could plug in, stuff right there on my computer and source it without using that Amazon seller thing that they have there, because I don't like that at all. So I was trying to replace it, and I actually found an Android emulator program that I can put my Profit Bandit onto my laptop. Well, I have Profit Bandit now right here on my laptop and my desktop, and I can just plug in UPCs or whatever, just like, and do online scouting.
Is that the thing that we're talking about on the Profit Bandit group?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
They were asking people if that would be something they would be interested in being able to do that. And
well, I can't.
I stopped paying attention to it.
There's a free program. It's called BlueStacks.
What is it?
BlueStacks. BlueStacks. And it's like I said, it's like an Android emulator for your computer, and you can just open up Profit Bandit once you have it set up. You open it up with your Google account or whatever, and then you can do just about any app that you can think of on there. But I use it just for the Profit Bandit, and that's how I do a lot of my online arbitrage now. Is just using that straight on the desktop, and it's awesome because I like Profit Bandit anyway, so it's double awesome because I get it on my computer now too. So.
Does it work on a Mac, or do you know?
Yeah, because mine's already going.
I think it does. I think it does have a Mac version of that. You have to look it up. I think it's BlueStacks.com maybe, or something like that. But if you Google it, there's other ones too. Even Google has their own Android emulator. You can use theirs. That BlueStacks one was just the one I picked, and it worked. So. That's why I tell people about it. But there's other emulators who do the same thing.
Will you remember that and fix it?
I see. Now I see why he's there. He's IT.
He's my fix-it guy. And the one that I turn to and say, I want that. I need that right there. Like the thing you were holding up, the charger. And so I turned to him and I was like, I need that. That thing
Use
right,
it.
that shiny thing right there. I need that.
You'd forget
Somebody
to
send her a link and help me out.
I do that all the time. I give him a link, and I'm like, honey.
I want.
This is much better than the charger thing. Because that charger thing, unless you get the really cool one like Dusty had, where
Yeah.
it charges really fast, they're actually pretty slow chargers. It's probably like even slower than like a regular wall charger.
So he's saying get like an extra
Yeah,
battery.
this is the spare battery with a charger. So it has, this part is the charger, and then the battery comes out here. See? So it has the battery inside of its own charger. So you can put like 10 chargers, I guess, or 10 batteries and just charge them up. And they charge really fast in this because it's the fast charger on the end.
So you just plug, and you can plug that. I can plug that into the car,
Yeah,
and
you can
get charged faster.
Yeah, well, if you have the fast charger, because there's the normal USB, the micro USB.
Yeah.
And then this one has the micro USB with like this extra little port on the side, so it's like a little wider, and it charges like 5 times faster. Yeah, it's like really quick.
I'm gonna get a fanny pack with like a motorcycle battery built in the front of it. Couple of alligator clips, plug in the fanny pack, just charge all my shit while I'm on the go. I'll get her a really nice designer purse with it like built in the bottom of it. How they have like the gun holders in your purses and all that.
I believe that when I see it.
Hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
And then you need to get the orange, orange aviator sunglasses.
That just scans for you.
Yes.
You look at it and it scans to your phone.
You would just be hot.
I just sold some orange aviators. They
Oh
were
my God, all the
they were
time.
neon safety glasses.
And then we can play the Mission Impossible song everywhere we go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right.
There was another question. Do you ever get nosy people when, yes, all the time. I pick up something and I'm buying like 100 of them and they start picking them up themselves, looking at them like, why is she buying 100 of them?
Do you have people ask you what you're doing when you're scanning?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What is that you're doing? Why are you in my business, number one?
Nobody ever asks me when I'm scanning. They usually ask me. Honestly, I don't know that I've ever had anybody ask me when I'm scanning, but it's always when it's in my cart.
And we'll get looks, and like one day when we had a lot of the feminine products, I'm like, I bleed a lot, because it's,
No, we did. We had
My
Depends.
period is atrocious.
Shopping carts full of Depends diapers, and
I'm
there's
like the
this.
kids killed my
This
bladder.
this old man is like, "What are you gonna do with all those?" I'm like, "I'm gonna piss wherever I want to." I mean, what do you want me to say?
John had to leave on Tristan's heavy.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I mean, I won't do that to everybody.
he's done.
Really obnoxious people that'll just like give you looks, and if you want to be cool and be like, what are you doing, then I'll tell you. But if you're gonna give me like some kind of throw some shade my way, you're going to get an earful.
Well, I got that today at the thrift store when I went with Chad, and I had these 7 box sets of, I don't remember what, there's something about how to be successful. And the guy picks them up out of my cart. The guy in line behind me is like, "Whoa, what are you doing with these?" And I said, "Well, I guess I'm going to be successful." And I just turned around. He was like, "Oh."
Well, I'm pretty sure that since they're in my cart, I'm purchasing them, sir.
I mean, I wasn't a jerk about it, but I guess I've just gotten that question so many times over the years.
Getting a head start on Christmas.
Or I'll say something funny and then just never answer them,
Yeah, my answer is almost always the same. It's always something like that. So whatever they come up with, whatever the individual says, "Oh, are you guys giving to whatever, or are you Secret Santas?" Oh, it's something like that.
I always say that I'm looking it up online, like I'm looking at reviews, and they tend to just when they ask why I'm scanning, I'm looking at the reviews. And they'll go away. If you say it a little bit snotty and kind of roll your eyes just a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, maybe I should be doing that." Like, God, don't you do that too?
Or well, if we buy buggies full of a certain item, and somebody will come in and be like, "Well, we got that one day." Well, they got someone didn't know that we were together, and she was asking the woman that worked there something. Well, he bought all those, and I'm like, well, I guess you should have gotten here sooner. You know, I'm.
Oh, I had a lady at a yard sale one day. I had these little ice cream cups from like an ice cream parlor in like the 20s or 30s, and there was a set of 12. And I have this whole box of stuff, and at the little checkout at the estate sale. And she's like, "Oh, I want one of those," and pulls it out. I said, "No." I just turned around, I said, "No."
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "Excuse me?" She goes, "Well, you don't need all those." I said, "Then I would have a set of 11, and that's not a set." And I snatched it out of her hand and put it back in my box and turned around. I was like, "No." I mean, if I'd had 13 of them, yeah, that's fine. Huh?
How rude can you get snatching something out of someone's stuff?
Out of my box. I was like, "Don't touch my box." Yeah.
Back out of my box. I could never imagine like reaching in somebody's buggy or in somebody's like box or bag at a yard sale and be like, "Oh, I want that."
Yeah, I think the thing about it is with our buggies, and I'm sure Dusty knows this too, it looks like stuff that they're about to put on the shelf. Because our stuff's thrown in there, and it's like, well, they must be getting ready to put this on the shelf, so I'll just take one.
Right.
We get asked a lot about prices, like we work there.
No, we do too.
Just had a good one the other day. Some old lady, she comes walking up, "Can you tell me if this charger will fit on my phone?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, no problem. I don't work here, but I'm oh my goodness, you don't work here? Oh my
I'm sorry.
And if I'm not in like my scanning picking zone, I'll do that, and I'll take the time to help people. And I had a lady do that one day in the store, and like 8 times I kept running into her in the store, and she kept asking for like assistance for something off the shelf, and she's like, "You're just the most handy person ever." And then finally we get to the checkout, and she's like in line behind us, and after we get done, she like grabs my shirt sleeve. She's like, "Sir, I am so sorry. I thought you the whole time you worked here." I was like, "You know what? I enjoyed helping you. It is totally fine." She was so embarrassed. Whatever.
That's awesome. Did you tell her you're open to tips?
Yeah. This is my
Seriously.
Boy Scout duty for the day.
No.
I have no problem.
Caesar's just trying to drag it out. He's coming up with questions now.
Are you bored, Steve?
Have you ever
Caesar's my helper guy.
another FBA, like physically ran into another seller?
With the shopping cart?
They run away from me. Like, I try to talk to them, and they won't talk to me. Like, the only one around here that talks to me is Sue Salin. She's my friend.
Now, I'll see other people scanning books. Like when I used to do the Salvation Army a lot, there were always barcode scanning people in there in the book section. And I would go behind them and like act like I was scanning stuff and pull books off the shelf to make them think they missed stuff and put them in my cart and just start filling the cart up. And then eventually they'd turn around and be like, "Oh my God, what am I doing wrong?" You know.
My scanner's broken.
Ditch the whole entire cart and be like, "Yeah."
I have tried to talk to them. Like, I see them at the Goodwill all the time. Like, and it's the same. There's this old like Russian couple, and there's this older woman that always scans books, and then there's this man. He's kind of weird. That is always like back in the electronics, the tchotchke, weird stuff. And I have tried to speak to every single one of them. And the woman that's always scanning books, she literally, when I said hi, turned and walked away. And I was like, I'm like checking my breath and then I tried to talk to the old Russian people and they tried to pretend like they couldn't understand me. And I was just like, okay, fine, whatever. And then I hear them speaking English, and I was like, you are so rude.
There is this one guy that I've seen now for probably the last, how long have we been in Huntsville? 6 years?
No, like 35.
No, for like the last 6 years, and I see him about 3 times a year, and he only buys record albums and vintage stereo stuff. He never speaks.
He used to buy from us at Arthur.
But he never spoke when he came to our thrift store. It was really creepy. He's got like the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses, and I think he probably lives in his mom's basement. He's really bizarre. I don't mean to make fun of him, and he just walk in and he's like he's always scared or something, and he'll buy he'll put the record albums and he'll never say a word. And I've tried to speak to him over the years, and he just like looks at me like he's freaked out and he runs off.
That's kind of what that woman did. the books lady. She was just kind of like, and
You might have been his mother.
right? I don't think I'm a scary person. I mean, I try not to be scary.
He might be buying albums for whatever woman he has chained in his mommy's basement.
You know it.
He's really an odd guy.
Do you guys run into him, Mike?
Not FBA. I've not run into. I know there's people that have come. They pick up stuff that I know is there all the time, and then all of a sudden it's all gone.
Yeah.
Like a couple of days later, and I'm like, yeah, somebody came and they figured it out, But yeah, like you guys talk about the thrifting, I've seen a few in the thrift store scanning, and then every time I've been to the book sales, they're always there. There's tons of them.
They are the rudest people. The ones at the book sales.
All the ones I met at the book sales were really nice.
No, they're like elbows and.
Well, I mean, when they're digging in, but once you're like talking to them or whatever, like a couple of them have told me the different, like how they have their setups and what they use, like the PDAs and all that kind of stuff that I had no clue about. So.
Right.
Now at estate sales, it's always in the size town we live in, it's always the same junk dealers that have the same stores, and it's literally you'll be lined up outside the front door if you get there early, and it'll be like all the same 10 people that all know each other, and they'll be talking to each other, but that's kind of different than FBA seller stuff.
Yeah, it's different.
Can't even
Screw it. Question number 9.
I was like, yes, I am awesome.
I don't have goals.
We don't have goals.
I think for us, when we ever hit our first
Number 9.
Yeah, we missed number 9.
Oh, Caesar said, screw it. Question number 9. What was your first reaction when you guys hit your first FBA goal?
Our goals are to keep the lights on.
Yeah, I think like the first month, we said, hey, damn the man, and we're going to quit working for somebody else, and let's see if we can do this thing. I think the first, probably second month or so, it was like, hey, we can do this. We can make full-time, make ends meet. I think that was, it was a happy reaction. It's still a little scary at times, but, if there's always that fear in the back of your mind, what if you get sick, or what if something, knock on wood, what if something happens, how are the bills going to get paid? But, it was definitely happy.
We always have our daughter we can sell as backup. We talked about that.
Nice.
I've been waiting till she was breeding age. She's old enough now.
She's totally.
Get on FBA for a daughter. How much can you get on FBA for a daughter?
No, that's black market.
No, that's on eBay along with.
They'll return hours. You'll be like, oh no.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
It's the holding fees, right? That's the problem.
This one's too sassy. I would like to return this one.
I didn't know we had a goal, but apparently we did, and we posted on that reseller stuff.
Well, how do you feel now that you know you did that?
Now that you know you met your goal, how does it feel?
It doesn't matter because I don't get to touch the money. I work.
Does this go in my budget? Is this in my budget, or is this in another category? If not, I don't care.
It feels really good. Mike's gonna feed me now. Do I get to eat this week, Mike?
Do I get real mayonnaise this week, or do I have to buy that awful crap?
Hey, Miracle Whip.
Oh.
I hope Jeff, if you're still listening.
I think I'll.
Ew, did they eat Miracle Whip?
Yeah.
Yes. It's not even real mayonnaise. It says salad dressing.
Did y'all bring some Dukes with you to put in the fridge?
Dude, oh no.
No, you didn't like Duke.
No, it's Hellman's or nothing.
Oh, ew.
No, me too. We buy like the big thing because we go through like the big jar in the month.
He won't let me.
John came home with one of those from Costco. He's like, boom, here.
That's one thing we do fight. We do still fight over. I wouldn't call it fighting, but
we fight over mayonnaise.
I'm like, listen, it's the kids that eat the sandwiches. All we're gonna do is make egg salad or tuna salad or chicken salad. who cares? Buy the Dollar General mayonnaise.
No.
And so I buy the cheap stuff, and she's like, Hellman's. I'm like, but it's not on sale.
And he's like, we don't need any mayonnaise. I'm like, that's because there's 3 jars of your nasty cheap crap in there that nobody will eat.
So let me tell you, I got taught a valuable lesson.
Uh-oh.
So, I'm totally frugal and like I want to buy all the cheap stuff, and so I go to Sam's and I'm like, honey, buy this. It's detergent. It's the same stuff. Only it's 3 times as much of it for half the price. You have to buy the shit. And I kept riding her until she finally, okay, no problem, we'll get that one. And then she freaking pulls my clothes out with like all of the, the crap all over it.
From the white stuff
the
where it doesn't come off.
She's like, yeah, here's your clothes. Wear those to work.
Buy your cheap crap again.
What was that, Chad?
No salad dressing.
Sucks. Salad dressing, Miracle Whip is.
He was listening.
No Miracle Whip.
I don't care. I'll eat. I mean, I don't eat enough mayonnaise. It doesn't really matter. I do Miracle Whip. I do whatever. But
Did we ask you to shut that?
Maybe he's putting that salad dressing inside his.
So I had to turn it on.
Hey, maybe he's putting that salad dressing inside his Christmas blend. That's what it is. That's why it tastes so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Dusty, you didn't eat the lizard?
What is it? I can't see it.
No, Chad goes, get that damn lizard off the back patio tent, like threw it out somewhere.
Oh, I didn't get to watch that yet. Now you guys ruined. It's fine. It's fine.
There were 2, and
No, the other one was nasty.
they were both nasty.
I would have eaten the less nasty ones.
Good luck.
There was no
Logan's
less
pretty
nasty.
cool
They
today.
Chad, come here.
Yeah, it's been fun. Logan jumped in the pool today when the water temperature was like 52. Levi, their other son, rode the riding lawnmower down the ramp of the U-Haul. No, the push mower down the ramp of the U-Haul, through the garage and into the wall.
Nice.
What is that show we used to ride with?
Jackass.
Yeah.
No, it's totally like Jackass. It is. I
What's Bam's
so
house?
hard in my life. It's awesome.
Viva la Bam.
Viva la Bam.
Yes.
Viva la Pego.
Viva la Pego.
Yeah. But the best part is been listening to everybody take showers in the ice cold water. It sounds like an absolute madhouse with the scream.
Oh my
God! Yeah.
Is it like opera / horror flick?
It's like an asylum. I'm just like, y'all are just going to have to smell me stink. I don't do cold water. So.
Nope. Can't do it.
Mm-mm.
Now they're talking about mayonnaise.
Yeah. Sorry.
Better than.
Anal.
That's true. Yes.
Don't be
Y'all can go back. You can, put those 2 together.
Yeah. Oh.
Go ahead.
Now we're buying salad dressing for sure.
So gross.
Oh, God.
Okay, guys. I think that we have pretty much covered everything that we can with our whole happy sunshine and, unicorns. our families in our reselling business. Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh, wait a minute. Caesar wants to know what your plans are for Valentine's Day.
I'll be having some.
Buy some Dukes.
Mm-hmm.
Some Dukes and 50 Shades at the theater.
50 Shades of Dukes.
50 Shades of Dukes.
50 Shades of Mayo.
Yeah, Duke's cups.
Dukes covered strawberry.
It sounds like one of those tricks that you pull on people, where you put clean out the Oreos and put toothpaste or mayonnaise or whatever in them.
When I met my kids that lived Said, look, dude, I don't celebrate Valentine's or Christmas, all these corporate made-up holidays until the day after. You'll get more stuff, so I got used to that. We celebrate.
You are so cheap, Mike. That's terrible.
Hey, I compromised on some things. She compromised
Yeah.
on some things.
So we go to the 75% off.
Yeah, so
We
she-
celebrate Valentine's Day on the 16th because that's the day that we met. And one year,
Oh, well, that's sweet.
But one year I went into Winn-Dixie and it was like leftover roses, and the petals weren't falling off yet, but they were pretty close. And it was like $1 a dozen, and I was like, I'll take the whole entire 2 carts.
Aww.
There were like 60 dozen roses, which was like of dead, pretty much dead roses.
I got about 3 roses out of that, but they were beautiful.
They were gorgeous.
Yeah.
John kind of screwed himself really early in our relationship because he did this huge Valentine's Day thing. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I can't, that's awesome, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, the next one starts coming up, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what you're doing this time. And he's like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
What?
Please.
What? And I was like, well, because you did this big thing. And he's like, yeah, I did that big thing. And I was like, well, no. You
Remember-
set a precedent.
No,
We're going to remember last week.
that's how you do it.
Yep.
Yeah, so,
No, he
those
does.
flowers would have, let's say those flowers would have turned out a lot better if you'd have put them in like an empty mayo jar. Then she would have.
They would have stood up better.
She would have liked them a lot better.
The Hellman's mayo.
Mhm.
butter.
Nope. Wow.
Wait, what?
Don't even look in the chat.
I can't see.
Just don't even look at it. I don't know what happened over there, but
Oh, it's Ronnie's making a comment because Chad and I did. I said, Chad, we've done no videos while we were here. And I said, we need to do like a haul video when we go today. And Ronnie's saying that I schooled Chad, which I did.
no,
But-
the fart and poop stuff.
Oh, no, I've skipped all over that.
Yeah, you might just want to scroll past.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. It just went really bad, really quick. So
With that,
I'm going to call it before we toadcast. There's no reseller wake up tomorrow, so you guys go find a working hangout and get something done. And thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
I think we did give our, the squishy feelings, because I wanted people to see that there are couples that do stuff and, that support each other and don't, complain and all this stuff at each other, with this whole business. I just wanted people to see that there are happy couples, doing it, and families. Deb's daughter, she works on it. So I appreciate you guys coming on and showing people that. And we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.